Hello there, welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Anthony.
Hello.
And we are here to discuss our thoughts about the Nintendo Direct that happened on February 13th. The rumors were true.
Some of them.
Some of them were true. Some of them we led you
Yeah.
to believe, and that was our fault.
Well, I don't know if we necessarily led anyone to believe anything. We were hoping for some of them. So, anyway, we'll talk about some of them, the things that were true, the things that weren't, what we loved, what we were disappointed by, etc.
I will just start off just by saying that I am most excited, and it sounds like everyone else is too. The two big main ones for me were Super Mario Maker 2 and the Zelda Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I must say, like, starting off the Direct, and the first thing, like when they showed that part from like that little clip where it started with the Super Mario World art style, I was thinking at first it was going to be like, oh cool, SNES games are available.
I did
and
too.
Then, and I'm like, that's cool. But then when I'm like, wait, I don't recognize this course, and then of course when they showed them fixing the course, I was like, oh no, oh yes, and it was just like. That was like the most solid way to start off the Direct. I was just so delighted with that.
Yep, it really set the mood for the rest of the Direct, in my opinion.
Yeah.
However, did it live up to your hype, though, for what it... After it started with Super Mario 2, did you feel like that hype kind of went through the rest of the Direct, or did you feel like it kind of slowed momentum and you kind of lost interest and then came back in for the end?
No, I feel like they did a better job with maintaining the momentum this time around. And I feel like that Nintendo has kind of lately gotten a lot better with that. I know, I'm remembering times, especially during the Wii U era when Nintendo seemed to be completely out of touch with their fans, and there was a lot of those presentations where I'm like, why should I even care about any of this?
Yep, that's for sure.
Even as a Nintendo fan,
Yep.
But lately with the Switch, they've really reimagined themselves, and the way that they've done their presentations are not only engaging, but they have legitimately compelling content to talk about. So I feel like, that aside from that kind of being a standard in general lately, I feel like this one was a cut above in my perspective. Now, that being said, there were a couple of notable omissions that we thought were going to be included that I'm pretty sad about, but for the most part I was quite pleased with all that they had to announce.
I agree. There was a lot of third-party support in this one, a lot of third-party developers. They kind of took the show over, in my opinion, with the Dragon Quest, the Ultimate Alliance 3, Box Boy and Box Girl, Bloodstained, Starlink Battle for Atlas is getting more missions which is awesome for the Star Fox team. New flyers, I'm super excited about that, and just kind of these smaller titles, minus the Yoshi and the Super Mario Maker and the Zelda.
Actually though, that's a good point. I think that is worth noting, is that I feel like the majority of Nintendo Directs in the past have been good, specifically because Nintendo's first-party titles carried it. And I feel like that with this particular Direct, there was solid first-party announcements.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like there were a lot more third-party, and some of those were really solid. Like, some of them I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. I've always been intrigued, but I've never played it, and now I think I will.
Yeah.
But then some of those I was like, wow, that's looking like, some potentially AAA stuff there. At least on par with the type of quality I expect from Nintendo's first-party offerings.
Right. Well, let's hear what you thought then, Anth. I kind of want to dig in a little bit deeper into what you just said. Can you give us some examples, or I want to hand it over to you?
Yeah. Well, I think I was actually going to suggest we both kind of chat about the things we were both most excited for and kind of list why. Let's definitely keep it a conversation.
Let's do it.
So I loved how they started with Super Mario Maker 2, and I think one of the reasons why I'm most excited for that, aside from some of the quality of life upgrades that it seems like they've really thrown in for the way the system works, one of the things I was most sad about was that I loved the original Super Mario Maker, but I feel like I kind of stopped playing it pretty early on, not because there was anything wrong with the game, but just that, you know, in a game like this, it's all kind of about the community, the support, which I guess was, you know, it sounds like it was still pretty robust even until this was announced, and now it sounds like everyone's just kind of cutting away from the original. You know, rip Wii U. Of course, it's been dead for a while. But I don't know. I just feel like, I guess my perspective was this is a solid game that Nintendo was already ready to leave behind because their vision was looking forward, because by the time it came out, they already saw the writing on the wall. Yeah, the Wii U is a flop. We need to look forward.
Which is probably when they ported it to the 3DS, trying to keep the game going maybe, but then they took out the main function of the game, which is sharing your levels.
Right. No, yeah, don't even get me started with ridiculous 3DS ports. Let's just say Super Mario Maker for 3DS and Mario the 100 Best or whatever, Mario Party the 100 Best mini games or whatever. Those two are some of the most nonsensical 3DS ports I've ever seen, and I think that, you know what, you might be onto an idea there that the reason why is that they knew the Wii U wasn't viable, but of course, anyway, I don't know. I think it was very silly. I
agree.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
We're talking about something even better, the sequel.
Yes. Yeah,
which looks really good.
Really excited.
I love the 3D aspects of it now. With the 3D world that they got going, it looks really cool. I don't know how much I'll use it, necessarily, but I like that it's coming.
Yeah, kind of like a more of like a 2.5D game.
Yeah.
It's like it's side-scrolling, but there's stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, I really like that.
I think it's a cool touch. I think the things I'm also most excited for when it comes to this is it really seems like that they're making a lot more development, like Mario game development tools available to the players, because I feel like, you know, there was a lot of that in the first game, but there was a number of things that I think were just not possible to do because they hadn't made a tool for it. But now, like, you know, I mean, I guess I like I said, I didn't you know, stay attached to the original game long enough to see you know, what they might have introduced later on, but it really seems like there's a lot more to work with here, and that's something I find kind of exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's tons more tools available to you, which, you know, more possibilities. There's going to be a lot more crazy levels we're going to be playing this next summer, and I am excited. It drops around my birthday, so it'll be perfect timing.
Happy birthday to you.
Woot woot. Everyone give me a Mario level.
I have to say, I think the final thing that I'm most excited for is just the fact that there's a very good potential for a strong community on the Switch.
Yeah.
And especially now that now that people are saying, oh, you know what, there's a sequel, and, you know, for sure that the support for the original is really going to go through the floor now. I think it's going to be great to have an even more robust community, because I mean, the Switch already has at least I think double the sales, if not more, than the entire lifetime sales of the Wii U.
Yep, it's like the number one best-selling console in the United States.
Yeah, well, at least in terms of rate of sell.
Right.
Yeah,
that's not misinterpret what I'm saying.
So I just feel like there's going to be a lot more there in terms of community support, and also I think Nintendo's going to probably hang on to like upgrades and, you know, future updates with this one than they probably did with the past.
Yep.
So all in all, I'm quite excited.
Very much so.
So I thought it was. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It was what?
I was just gonna say I thought it showed a lot of savvy that they started off with such a solid announcement.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
What'd you think of the rest? What'd you think of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the Black Order? I actually thought that looked kind of nice.
yeah, no, that one looks pretty fun too. I haven't seen a whole lot of news or footage on it, but I think that it's really cool that they managed to snag that one as an exclusive. And honestly,
Yes, that is insane. That is awesome.
I think that one of the things that I also loved about this Direct is that there's a lot of exclusives that Nintendo is managing to snag. Like some of these that don't necessarily have to be exclusives, but are for whatever reason, whether it's the success of the Switch convincing developers to make that step, or Nintendo just seeking out more of these opportunities. Because I know in the past Nintendo has been kind of separatist in a very unfortunate way.
Yeah.
I think that that's going away, which I like, but I also think that it's telling that the developers are actually willing to do it. Not because I think that they're having to make a great sacrifice or that it's a bad choice, but just that it shows Nintendo must really be starting to give them reason to want to, and
well, they're doing so well, right? Yeah, because of their crazy hardware success, it's hard not to.
Right, and I think that they must be doing more than just that to really make it an attractive proposition. And so I think not just it's not just the games that have really got me excited for the future of the Switch. I think it's things like that that when you think about, realize, wow, that's a sign that this has kind of got a healthy future in front of it if they're able to get developers this interested to the point where they're willing to kind of go all in on the Switch with their games.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's kind of a long way to answer your question. The game
That's
itself, good. Marvel Superheroes, or Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It sounds really cool. I've always got a hankering for really good co-op story-based games.
Oh,
I should say story ish there, because there's only so much you can do with a story when you start throwing in extra characters. But I'm excited for that idea that we could have a game where you can play through the story with your friends. Every time I think of co-op games, I always look back at games like Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana is one of not only one of the best games from the Super Nintendo era, but the fact that they managed to make it a really, well, I thought at least, a solid story, but in 100% co-op playable.
Yeah, that's legit.
I've had a hankering for that ever since, and no other game has quite scratched that itch. And I'm not necessarily saying that I think Marvel will do so, but you know what? With how rare these type of games are, I'm always happy when one comes along.
I agree.
And I'll probably enjoy it, even if it doesn't quite get to the level I'm looking for. But I love those kind of games. So
that's a good segue into Starlink, because the co-op there can definitely be improved. Do you think they're going to improve it in this update they're releasing and make it so you can fly a little bit farther apart than before, or something?
Maybe. I realized though, after some kind of looking around and also kind of thinking about it, just that they actually have a really good reason for having such stringent limits on how much players are allowed to move around. Because if you let both players roam freely, then the game would have to do double the rendering, and then it would turn into a sloppy mess.
That's true.
Of 10 frames per second and resolutions that are look like a Rothko painting.
It looks like a 3DS.
Or worse. Yeah, no. So, while I'm sad that there's such a stringent limitation, I understand the reason for it, and so I'm more fine with it. But I wouldn't mind if they found ways to improve the experience. I'm not sure how. I know that I enjoy playing with my wife, but there are times when she gets bored because there's so much scavenging and exploration, and she usually has to just kind of set her character to follow me because she can't roam on her own.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's some way that they can give some leeway there. Maybe not. Probably not. But
Yeah.
even
sense.
so,
we're getting all these new missions and a new.
Which I'm excited for. I'm in the middle of playing Starlink in earnest right now, and I'm starting to just barely get into the part where it's getting a little bit more intense, and I'm getting pretty into it. So I'm excited for more.
You should. It's a good game. I've beaten it, and I love it. It's really good. Really, really well made. And I hope Star Fox takes a lesson from it, and they kind of do something like this for the next Star Fox game. Or maybe give it to Ubisoft. Let them make a Star Fox game. A proper Star Fox game. Anyway,
right.
Do you have anything else to say about any of these other third-party titles, or should we just go into the first party?
No, I actually do have a little bit more to say about
let's
those,
go.
But before we move on from Starlink, though, there is actually one thing I thought of that I'd love for them to do, okay?
Okay, here we go.
It's this. Please make it so that when you're exploring like shipwrecks or things like that you can get out of your ship and not try to maneuver your big fat ship through those tiny doors. Oh my gosh. That is one area that drives me insane. And I'm like trying to find the salvage chest from a shipwreck, and I have to turn my ship sideways to get it through the door, and then it still like bumps all the walls, and like the
Damages
camera
your
gets
ship.
right up on my ship's backside. Yeah. Even if it's just only when you're inside those ships, for heaven's sake, when you're in those close quarters, let me get out. For goodness sake.
That'd be really cool. I don't know if they would be
Yeah.
able to do that. All that new, have to make every character, walkable outside the ship. I don't know. But that'd be really nice. I 100% agree with you.
Definite quality of life improvement that I would love. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Okay, so I think for me, the number one most interesting, most exciting third-party announcement would have to be Astral Chain.
Okay.
I'm not sure what to expect from other than I'll say this: learning that it was being developed by Platinum Games makes me very hopeful that it will be at least a very fun game. Because one thing I've found, I've not played any of the Bayonetta games, but I played Wonderful 101, and even from that game alone, I've learned that they tend to be masters at developing not only compelling action battle systems, but very unique ones that are very exciting and extremely rewarding. There were multiple times when I was playing Wonderful 101 where I was laughing hysterically as I destroyed an enemy in ways that were very what's the word I'm looking for?
Challenging, but
adrenaline-inducing.
Yeah.
Well, adrenaline-inducing, but also very cerebral. There were many times when I had to have quick reaction times as well as good strategy, even though this is, an action game. And so, I'm very hopeful that they'll do a really good job with Astral Chain, and it looks pretty exciting.
I agree. So, I was taken aback when I saw that trailer. It looks really good. And I love the animations for their shields. I heard some people say it reminds them of Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit, but we won't go into that. But I'm just curious about these little robot things that they either control with their little mechanism thing, or I'm just
wow, that works.
Curious all the way around. And the battling looks great. The game looks great too. The graphics on that game look really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm excited
and
about
that's
that.
another. Yeah, I still don't know what to expect other than that I'm hopeful that it will be really good, because Platinum Games, Platinum kind of has an unusually high standard of care of development that in my mind at least that I've seen compared to a lot of other developers, and so I'm excited for that. And also, I didn't feel like the Direct made this as clear as it did with other games in the presentation, but I've since looked around and it kind of sounds like it's going to be an exclusive for the Switch, which is also, like I said,
Nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they did not
So-
mention that at all, if that's true.
They gave hints. They showed, they're like, at the end when it's, you know, doing the title and, you know, Astral Chain, and then it says Nintendo Switch next to it, and didn't show any other systems represented. So that was one thing, but, you know, like with Dragon Quest, they straight up said this is an exclusive. So that wasn't clear, but it kind of sounds like it is, which is
Nice. Yeah, love
really
it.
cool.
Love it.
So, as for the rest, and you know, feel free to chime in with the ones that stuck out to you.
Yeah, that was
I
about
think
it
the
that
others-
stuck out to me. Sorry, what? Go ahead. I have one more that kind of stuck out to me, but go ahead.
Oh no. You go first. I was
Oh,
really just
well, I
going to
don't-
kind of list the rest.
I don't remember the title of it though. It's just the one with the girl with the blue paint on her face.
Oh,
What was that?
Hellblade?
Yeah, that one.
Senua's Sacrifice?
Yeah, that one looked good too. I was like, well, that looks good on the Switch,
Yeah.
and then the story looks really compelling. I was like, what is this? I've never played it on any other system, but it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I kind of missed a lot of the news on that one, so I remember hearing about it, but
It looks good.
I've not known much about it. So
I don't know anything about it
looks
either. I
pretty
just
cool.
know it looks cool and it looks good. So
Yeah.
fill us in. We're kind of noobs when it comes to that title, but at the very least, I think we can say that we're both intrigued.
Yes,
Sorry.
yeah, I will
So
agree
go
with
ahead. Go ahead and take over for.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else
No,
to say
you're
about
good.
any other titles except for the Toad Treasure Tracker. How I'm excited that they added the 2-player co-op because my wife and I love playing that game, and I was stuck being
yeah.
the pointer. But now I
That
can
would be a lot
actually
more interesting.
play. Yeah, that was a very happy announcement for me. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
No, you're good. So a couple others of the third party before we move on to first party that I was really interested in. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I love me some Igavanias. You know, Castlevania style games. And this one looks really. It seems like a throwback to the DS era of Castlevania games
Yeah,
that were just
I
so
was
good. So
I was saying that as I watched it. I was like, this is screaming Castlevania to me. Then it said Bloodstained, and I was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
I'd never
Yeah.
played Bloodstained before either, but I was like, this is a Castlevania game starring a heroine, maybe. Oh no, never mind.
well, to be honest though, actually, Bloodstained is not an existing series. This is the first of it.
Okay,
from what
then-
I understand.
Then I'm an idiot.
No, you're.
Didn't know that.
So the original creator of the Castlevania games has split with I think it's Capcom.
Yeah,
right? Isn't it
Capcom.
Capcom
Yeah.
that owns the rights to Castlevania. Anyway, he split with them, and Bloodstained is, I guess, his project that is obviously very Castlevania themed because, you know, I mean, he's trying to, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
So in a way, it is Castlevania, but without being Castlevania because he doesn't have the rights.
Right.
So,
Huh.
but I'm pretty excited for that one. Some others, Daemon X Machina. I guess that's technically. I don't know if that's third party or not. Sometimes it seems like Nintendo is almost making it sound first party.
I
But
agree.
anyway,
I'm not sure either, but I did download the demo and I gave it a try.
what did you think?
I don't know if it's my kind of game or not, but I thought that the right stick was pretty touchy. I don't know if you can adjust that in the settings or not, but I felt like it was hard to see. I was just barely touched the right stick and my screen would just fly. I don't know.
Oh. Well, but this is
I
a
don't know.
demo. and
It is a demo. It is a prototype.
They did. So they did say, you know, give us your feedback so we can improve it. So
Yeah.
I doubt that that's going to be something that will stay.
I agree. But yeah,
But I'm curious to try it.
yeah. The
So-
controls are really cool, and the robots are way cool looking. and the characters are totally customizable, male, female, the color of your armor. Yeah, it's super cool. So
Awesome.
I'm just hoping that camera thing gets fixed. But other than that, I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll see you in the future.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that one. Another one that stuck out was Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah, for real. I've never played a Dragon Quest before, but I have to say that one has sparked my interest for the whole series.
Yeah, I've kind of been. I've heard good things about Dragon Quest XI because this is the original 11, not the definitive edition, has been out for a while. I've kind of had my eye on it, but since I knew it was coming to the Switch, I was waiting on it, and so it's another one of those things where I'd color be surprised that again Nintendo has managed to, it's mostly a port over, but it's also a definitive edition that is exclusive to the Switch. So, good job Nintendo there, and then also it just looks like a really compelling game. So
Yeah, the story looks really good too.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love the
pretty
cutscenes and everything. It was great.
So, there's that. It's really quite the list, which is honestly a triumph in and of itself.
Yeah, it is. We're just gonna go over the ones that gave good impressions to us. We'll kind of,
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm glad that they have such a suite of games, but I'm not gonna say anything about Disney Tsum Tsum Festival. Not my style. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But cool. Anyway, so Oninaki, that looked really cool to me. The one about the reincarnation being, the balance of reincarnation being upset or something like that. That one looked really cool to me.
Oh, I remember that one, but I think that's keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, you'll have to take a look.
Huh.
Deltarune. I enjoyed Undertale, and Deltarune looks like just an improvement. So that one looks fun. And then there was a lot of other games that I don't know that I have as much interest in, but are still really surprising and cool that they're on there. Like Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered.
Oh,
That was kind of a surprise.
That is, that was.
Although
that was rumored before. It was just nice to finally get a confirmation that it actually is coming.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever heard that rumored. I was completely surprised by it. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah.
So, although I will say, I kind of hope that the footage they showed in the video is not final footage because
that's what a lot of people are
skippy.
saying. It does. It looks pretty bad.
It looked really skippy.
Let's fix that before we release it, please, or patch it or something soon after launch or something. But I've never played. I've never played one of those games before. But honestly, and I know that a lot of people say that's like the worst game in the series for reasons unknown to me. Yeah. For some reason, no one likes it, and I don't know why. But
Interesting.
It looks good to me. I've never played one, so why not pick it up and give it a shot?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see how well it does. Like I say, I feel like they have some improvements to do before they actually release it. If it looks as bad as that when it comes out, then that's definitely a missed target.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a missed opportunity for the developers.
Yeah, but it could be good. I just feel like this is what I was gonna say. I feel like they don't have much excuse for it looking that choppy. Like, I understand having to tone back resolution for the Switch, but the fact that we have games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2 and Warframe running as well as they do on the Switch means that Assassin's Creed kind of, to me, has no excuse for looking that choppy.
I agree.
You know what? I've come to accept, if you're going to port a game to the Switch that comes from, is also like on the PS4 or the Xbox One, you're going to have to tone back the visuals somewhat. But the fact that, people have, mostly Panic Button, if we're being honest, has managed to keep the visual fidelity relatively good, while at the same time focusing on the frame rate.
Yeah.
Just proves to me that if that's final footage for Assassin's Creed 3 remastered, then that's there's no excuse for that.
Then they need to hand it over to Panic Button to do it from now on.
They're wizards. I swear. I don't know how to do it, but I love it.
They are so good. Please, everyone, all developers, give your stuff to Panic Button. They know how to do it. Do the world a favor.
Or just take a few notes from them, too.
That, too.
Know?
Okay. Well, I guess you could do that, too. But just, give it to them.
Yeah. I will say, we're getting a little off track here, but I just want to give one final plug for them. I have not played very many. Well, so I have not played Doom, their port of Doom. I have not played their port of Wolfenstein, but I've heard that they're shocking and how good they bring things over. I have played Warframe though, and I really enjoy that.
Oh, that game is amazing.
But the funny thing is, having played so few of their games, they still, just because of their commitment to quality and how like the crazy things they've managed to bring over to the Switch, has single-handedly made them one of my favorite developers, and yes. I haven't even played many of their games.
Yep.
So.
Amen. Yep. Agreed.
So, anyway, so moving on though, a lot of cool-looking third-party support that I'm.
Oh yeah.
Oh! I was gonna say one more that really surprised me. Mortal Kombat 11, like. That came out of left field.
Yeah.
It's not my style. Not my style of game at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not one for gory games. So I always get turned off by that. But I'm just like I'm pretty sure isn't that the one that just came out?
Yeah, that is the one that just came out.
So like that in itself is another one of those shocking things. Wow, Nintendo is getting even current support. Like, it's not just a port that comes out months to years later. It's a current game and they're getting it. Like, that one was I probably won't even play it, but it's still a notable thing that they announced there.
Yep, love it.
So
it makes me very happy for those of you that like that kind of stuff. Like we said, we aren't technically big fans of those type of games, but I am very happy when something like that comes out for support for Nintendo and more options for the gamers. I'm all for that. So
yeah, solidarity with the fans.
Yes,
solidarity with the fans.
Yes.
So okay. Anyway, those are my notables from the third party. So do you have anything else you wanted to list, or do we want?
Nope. Let's just go into the Zelda, bro.
Are you starting with Zelda?
Yep, let's just get the Zelda done.
Okay. So tell me your thoughts. Take it away.
Okay, the opening cinematic. I hope that I've never played Link's Awakening, but I really hope if there's cutscenes that they all look like that. It was awesome. I loved it.
It was pretty cool.
I think every cutscene should be like an anime, 2D style. That was way cool. Please. And yeah. I know Anthony and I are kind of split on this, but I actually really love the art style. Yes, it does look a little toy-like, maybe you can say. Anthony can, tell me in a second. But I actually really like it. And the HD, 2D Zelda in HD looks really good.
Yeah.
And I like that sharp contrast of colors. All the vibrant colors in your face all over the place, and I actually don't mind that little glossy shine. But let's hear your thoughts, Sam. I know you and I differ on that, and I gave you a little bit of grief for it. But for that, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Though I will call you out teasingly here, Steven. Told me that he teasingly said that I was a Zelda critic, and I had to say, no, I'm an art critic. There's a difference.
I was like, I can't believe it.
This game will be good because it's a Zelda game.
There you go, yes.
Let me give you my thoughts. So, I am honestly, like, of all the announcements, this one was the one that had me the most excited. I have some other friends, Nintendo fans, that texted me at one point saying, just showing like the link to the trailer just for Zelda, and I just about flipped my lid because I knew that was a rumor, like we talked about that last time, but to actually have it not only confirmed, but to be a remake of such a solid classic.
I've actually never played Link's Awakening, like I said before, but I didn't even think that the 2D Zelda would even show up.
Yeah, no, that was
in this direct.
I thought that was the longest shot, honestly. But so I was stoked for that, and honestly, I still am. I have played Link's Awakening, and I loved the original. I really enjoyed it, and to see it get a facelift is exciting. Now, to explain, I guess, my perspective on the art style, and I will admit, Steve, for your benefit,
thank you,
that my opinions have kind of toned down somewhat. They've kind of cooled a tad.
I don't mind. You can have everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
Except
my
for
first
Anthony,
impression
he is frowned upon.
I'm
just kidding.
So for me, I saw that opening cinematic, and I'm like, wow, I'm really liking this representation. I like how much emotion they're giving to Link in this trailer, and I thought the art style was really cool. And then to kind of have such a clashing difference between that art style and what the game actually looks like was kind of jarring to start with. But then I also just kind of don't love, and that's the key word here. I'm never saying that I hate it. I just don't love the kind of baby's playset look of Link, mostly Link. At first, I thought I didn't like the world, but I'm looking. I watched
the world's
some more videos.
amazing.
I watched more, and to be honest, I think I'm fine with it now. Like it's very colorful. It's very, it just seems very inviting and fun to explore. So I think I've come to like the appearance. I like the appearance of the world. Sorry. I like the. I've decided I kind of like the appearance of the world, but if I were given a choice to go with a different art style, then yeah, I'd still wish they'd gone with something slightly different, less toy-like.
Yeah.
But honestly, my biggest beef is just with the character representation. Link really does kind of look like one of those little child, like, weebly wobbly toys or whatever, where they're short and squat, and they're made to look kind of babyish, and
like those old farm toys or whatever. Yeah, like those kind of things.
Yes, I know exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So that was. Honestly, I was watching this trailer, and I was still excited for the game, but I was watching this trailer, and I saw Link's character model, and the first thing that went through my head was one of those toys, and I was like, oh boy.
Cue the picture, because I have the picture Anthony posted on our little...
Cue the picture.
Cue the picture. There it is.
That's what went through my head, something like that. But again, my opinion has kind of toned back a little bit, and you know what? And I've said this. I said this even initially, but now I feel like it's more true. That I know I'm still going to like the game. I know I'm still going to love the game, especially because this is Link's Awakening we're talking about. That's a really solid game, so I'm really excited for it. And I know that I will be okay with the art style and with the characterization. I just don't love it, and that's the thing.
And that's totally fine.
Thanks, Steve. So that being said, I'm really stoked for it. I think that was one of their most solid announcements, and okay, this is what we were talking about last time. when we were saying if a 2D Zelda comes out, it has to be on the Switch. Thank you, Nintendo. Oh my gosh.
Can everybody make a really big bow to the floor, please?
Oh, that was just... Mike.
Like a peasant kneeling to the master, fears. You must take a bow and say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I loved, like, you know, A Link Between Worlds, excellent game. But, you know, as we've already talked about, the 3DS, I feel like they really need to move on from that. And so I was so happy when they said the Switch. I was like, oh, yes, okay.
There's hope.
You know,
there's hope.
You can do, I mean, like, even the art style isn't going to bother me that much as long as it's a Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Yes.
Perfect.
Amen.
I think the others that were notables that we can just mention briefly.
Yes.
So, Fire Emblem Three Houses. That one looks... I don't know what to think about that one. The story sounds
really?
weird.
It does kind of sound a little weird. Everyone starts to compare it to Harry Potter.
Did they?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, because of the school and the houses and the house leaders.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I just don't understand the conflict. I don't see the motivation for the story right now. So that's interesting. But it looks like it could be good. So that's something.
Yes, it does. It looks really good.
Yoshi's Crafted World. I've known I'm going to buy that one for a long time, so I'm really happy about that.
Love the demo, by the way. I'll probably upload some footage here a couple of days of me playing it, and really looking forward to that. I haven't tried out the 2-player yet, but I will. I'll probably upload that as well.
Yeah, Caitlin and I were playing it the other night, and we enjoyed it pretty well. So that was fun, and then I think finally just the Smash DLC announcement.
Or lack thereof.
The version 3. Well, okay, yeah, they didn't really say much.
They hardly said anything, but, you know,
like, obviously that's exciting.
Yes. More details to come.
So.
Hopefully that means there's another Direct soon.
Yeah. But anyway, so I think all in all, I think the thing, like, I'm really sad there was nothing about Metroid. That was the omission that I was really sad about.
Omission of the century.
Not even Metroid Prime Trilogy. Like, I know that's still a rumor, but no Metroid Prime Trilogy. Come on.
Yeah, that might be big enough for E3 though. Yeah, we were getting our hopes up for this Direct, but that might be a good E3 drop.
Yeah.
Or they're they wait till E3 and then they're like, hey, you can download and play Metroid Prime Trilogy today. Actually, right now. Go get it. That'd be kind of cool. But yes, I would love to know that it exists and that they're working on it, or that it's done, or release date, but nothing.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. And I think that, like, I understand, especially with Metroid Prime 4, I know there's probably going to be a long time before we hear any solid news about that. But I mean, at least Metroid Prime Trilogy was rumored, and, you know, after seeing Super Mario Maker 2 and the 2D Zelda happen, you know, I was like, wow, like, okay, you know, Metroid was part of the same rumor. Let's get some of that, and then there wasn't any. So,
unfortunately,
you know, that was a little rough. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But otherwise, I think all in all, and I was talking to Caitlin about this. I feel like for me, this was one of the most solid Nintendo Directs that we've had for a while. And
I would have to agree.
Really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for this year. It's looking really, really solid. Definitely keeping my eyes on a lot of these games, and I think Nintendo's just doing a really good job of keeping momentum and attracting developers, and we're starting to see more of the fruits of that. So
yep,
it's a great time to be a Nintendo fan.
Yes, it is. Yep, love it. Same, solid Direct, loved it. Really good announcements in here. Yes, there were some omissions, but maybe there's a better time for them. And hopefully, another one I really missed was Animal Crossing.
Oh, and then Luigi's Mansion.
That
Okay,
too.
that was another one I was
That
surprised
too.
about because
Luigi's
we know
Mansion
that's coming, and there's nothing.
Exactly. They didn't give us anything. So hopefully, either the next Direct or at E3, we'll hear about Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion in depth. And please, Metroid drop soon. But
Yes.
yeah, overall, I agree with you. Solid Direct. I was not disappointed at all. But
no.
do you have anything any other things to add?
No,
good?
I think that's.
I think we're good.
That sums it up.
Woot woot. Well, thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, go ahead and comment and subscribe. Let us know what your favorite part of the Direct was and the omissions that you missed.
And the things you're most excited for?
Please, yes, like Animal Crossing. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So for all your nerdy needs, you're already right in the right place. Simply Nerdy.
Keep it nerdy, guys.